Alright, today I'm going to be telling you the real reason, how I got into cubing. Alright, let's get into it. So you may not know this, but I was actually born in... I'm kidding, I'm not going to be doing what every single YouTuber did on April 1st. Alright, so it was Christmas 2018, and obviously you're getting your presents, you're all excited, and my mum gave me a Rubik's Brand 3x3. Now, obviously, I had no idea what a Rubik's Cube was. Well, I did, but I just never solved one in my life. My mum knew I was kind of into puzzles, or I had a reputation of being so good at maths and stuff. So she gave me that. So I wanted to see if I could solve it, because out of all the things I haven't solved, I feel like that's the thing I have not solved yet, and I think I just needed to do that. So I scrambled it up, and actually, I remember myself saying, oh, that actually turns not that bad. I mean, obviously I didn't know anything about speed cubing. So I turned it, scrambled it up, and I'm like, I don't really care that I haven't solved it. It just turned so well. So yeah. But then after a bit I decided, what's the point of getting a Rubik's Cube without actually solving one? So I looked up a tutorial, because I tried to do it, and for some reason I just couldn't even do a face. So yeah, I looked up a tutorial, but actually somehow I had a manual I somehow had a manual for Rubik's Cube, not digitally. So yeah, I just looked at that, and over the course of 3 weeks, I learned how to solve it, actually memorize the algorithms and stuff. So yeah, I actually took that manual and cube with me, and during that I went to Adelaide. Yeah, and I live in Melbourne right now, so I took that with me for a holiday, which is kind of cool. Probably the day after we got back, I actually finally learned how to solve it, all the algorithms and stuff. So yeah, that was good. Fast forward a few weeks, and I'm at a local school market, and then I see this toy store, I guess, with a white Rubik's Cube. And if you know my channel, you probably know which one I'm talking about. And if you're one of my school friends from last year, or at least know me from last year, then you probably know what I'm talking about as well. So I bought it. It was only 2 Australian, I should say, bucks, which I thought was a really good deal. So I got it, and actually showed some people there at the market, including some friends. They thought it was pretty cool, and yeah, I took it home. And that's kind of how I was able to solve it in 1.5 minutes. It actually turned pretty well. Obviously I didn't really speed cube, I was just trying to solve it. But I mean, yeah, that was really cool. Now let's fast forward to July, where something came up in my recommended. It was a video by Red KB. If you don't know who he is, he's a person that is really into twisty puzzles, but not speed cubing, actual puzzles. So this video came up into my recommended, and I thought to myself, I just learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube half a year ago, so why not watch this video? I believe it was the top 5 easiest puzzles. So I looked at it, and there was even though there was easy puzzles like the pyramids and the dino cube and floppy cube, there were actually some cool puzzles there. So I'm like, what if I got more puzzles? And that video, I would say, is probably the one that got me interested in actually different Rubik's Cubes, different puzzles. So yeah. So one day I was in the city, and I saw this, I guess, place called Mind Games, and there's 2 of them in Melbourne. So I went in there, and there was so many different types of Rubik's Cubes. I'm like, whoa, these are cool. And I'm like, oh, I wish I had them. Well, I do now, but back then that was kind of a wish. Obviously I didn't get any because I wasn't that into Rubik's Cubes. But as I evolved over time, I really did. So now it's August, and it's like athletics day in my school. So I don't know why, but I took my Rubik's Cube and I told one of my friends, I guess, that I knew how to solve it, and he said he knew how to solve it as well. So yeah, we didn't really talk about them, but that day, I took out my Rubik's Cube to show, and for some reason he had a Rubik's Cube as well. So yeah, that was interesting. But I don't know how this happened. Everyone on the bus had like a Rubik's Cube, which just blew my mind. I'm like, whoa, did I just start a trend here? Well, kinda. Well, after that day, like everyone started bringing Rubik's Cubes to school. And I'm like, okay, I definitely did. And I think it just became, I think I kind of just like broke the school because this is actually getting really popular. So like when we went, I guess, camping, not really proper like camping, but when it was like September, like people actually bought their Rubik's Cubes, which like super shocked me because I'm like, whoa, that many people? I wasn't expecting that at all. So yeah, that's kind of how it kind of took off. Then fast forward to October, so kind of late October, and we had this thing called Timbucks, named after my teacher at the time, and it was kind of to teach us about the money in the real world. So we were having this auction, don't ask me how it works, but the same person that bought the Rubik's Cube, we were kind of friends at this point, had this Gear Cube Extreme. And I'm like, that's really cool. He put that at the auction, and I got it. I actually got it. And once I got it, I was like, ooh, this is interesting. I took it home and never learned how to solve it. Well, I kind of did, but like at the very end, you have to like twist the edges. So the reason I actually never learned how to solve it is because sometimes when you turn it, the edges kind of get twisted, and I don't know if that causes like some parity. So I've just never learned the algorithms for that. I just twist the edges manually. So yeah, between then, everyone, like, Rubik's Cubes is like the thing in the kind of like in our year level. Yeah, so let's fast forward again to November, late of November, and I got that 8 cube set that you may know. If you want to know, go watch this video. So yeah, it was a 2, 3, 4 Pyramega, Scube, Ivy, and Mirror. So I actually got more cubes than I had originally, which I'm like, whoa, this is really cool. It was my first for a lot of them. Then I brought it to school, like all of them. Okay, well, not all of them, but like some of them a day, and then one of the days I did. And then, yeah, you can kind of tell how jealous the person was, but I think himself got like one. He also had a 5x5, like a Rubik's brand, and I didn't own a 5x5 until like April, but we'll get to that. So yeah, I got the 8 cube set, and then, you know, and then we get to the end of the year in December, well, for me at least. So yeah, and we go through so we get to Christmas again, and I'm hoping I get the Rubik's cubes, but that 8 cube set I think was meant to be my Christmas present, so never mind. What I did get though is a Pyraminx, but like the exact same kind. That was actually one of my cousins gave to me. I think they already knew I was into it. I mean, good. I got something at least. So, and for my birthday, which was like 2 weeks after that, I actually got a Rubik's Tower 2x2x4, which was a really interesting puzzle. Why not? It was actually sold in like stores, like you could just go to the store and see one. You didn't have to order online. Like that 8 cube set, you obviously had to order that online. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So now we go to February. Now from now on, I think this is where I'm really into cubing, and I kind of just start buying cubes myself. So in February, like some mid-February, I got the YG Yulong V2M, which is probably one of the best budget cubes out there. Well, used to be, maybe not so much, but it was really good. Then we go to like late April, and I got the Yushin Cloud 5x5 and Meilong 4x4. So I should say the Yulong V2M was my first magnetic 3x3. The Yushin Cloud was my first 5x5, and Meilong kind of wasn't anything special, but it was really good. Then I believe my next unboxing was in kind of late May, where I got the Dian Tengen 2x2, which is probably one of my favorites, and my first, and pretty much only magnetic 2x2. Then I got the Chi for Square 1, which was my first Square 1, and Chi 2x2x3 and Chi 2x3x3, my first of those kind. But then about a week and a half later, I broke it, which is sad. So that's why in like early this month, July, I got a replacement, and I also got a Killer Minx, Ready Minx, and Ready Cube while going to speedcube.com.au's warehouse, which was really fun. So that's my cubing story, and I don't know if I should update this for maybe, yeah, I guess, I don't know, I'll probably update this soon, but it is technically 1 year since I started cubing, I guess. Alright, see you next time.